Welcome to Sometimes There's Side Eye, a podcast about two friends having real and unfiltered conversations about dogs and people. Listen as we talk about our lives with dogs, training, behavior, share some laughs, and a whole lot of banter. I'm Heather.
And I'm Christy. Heather, what are we talking about this week?
We are going to talk about both the welfare of dogs and people living in our modern society. What does that look like?
Yeah, what's that mean?
Oh, well, per usual. It starts with Christy and I looking at something on social media.
Hmm,
And then
discuss it.
we discussed it. However, I was way too passionate for the first recording, so we just had to, you know, tone it down a notch. We weren't fully prepared to talk about it the first time around, so we decided to
Yeah,
regroup and come back. So here we
yeah,
go.
here we are.
What set us off?
Well, so there was a couple things that set us
Mm.
off. One, you saw a very nice post.
I saw a really nice post from a dog trainer who has been doing dog training for a couple decades. And she basically, in a nutshell, was saying, I just want everyone to have a kind dog. I want families to have a good family pet. I want single people to have the pet that they hoped for that fits into their life. But at the end of the day, as she's describing all these different things and how she doesn't want people to have to change their lives and contort into an animal behaviorist to
Mhm,
own whatever dog they have, she really truly just wants everyone to have a kind dog. And that hit me so hard because
mhm,
it was really truly hitting how I feel.
mhm.
It is. It hits how I
Yeah,
feel.
and that's hard to argue with. That
Yeah.
we also want people to have a dog that fits in their lifestyle, whatever that lifestyle is, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and just to have a kind dog, a dog that can be trusted in society, a dog
Mm-hmm.
that is trusted with family members, with friends, with other
Mm-hmm.
animals in the home, all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It also, I think, another thing that had happened was I visited someone who adopted a dog and unfortunately is having some pretty serious behavior problems, and
Hmm.
there's children in the home. And so that adds another layer of stress and anxiety and danger, I'll be
Yeah, I
honest.
was going to say danger,
Yep.
straight up danger.
And after I visited, I was talking to somebody and they said, well, like, why is that happening? And I just sort of like threw up all of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Really, I did. I started rattling all the like different reasons that are contributing to, problems like this in modern day dogs. And it hit me really hard and it's really sad. And so
Yeah.
that was another piece of it that brought it up for me. And then Christy had a couple things happen too.
Yeah. So, what are some of those reasons that you shared?
Oh, sure. I had shared that I feel that how we live in modern society is very different than how we lived even 20 years ago, which we've talked about it on the
Absolutely.
podcast
Hmm.
before. What we expect from dogs, all dogs, I mean, most of the dogs don't have a 40-acre farm, to live on.
Right.
What
Yeah.
we expect out of dogs at this point is really astronomical, myself included.
Mhm.
That is non-judgmental. That is me too.
Yeah.
We control everything about their lives for the most part,
Hmm.
including them having to ask to go outside to go to the bathroom, unless you live at Christie's house.
Not my
Oh,
house.
I beat you to it.
No.
Um, there are a lot of issues when it comes to backyard breeders or indiscriminate breeders. And I think that indiscriminate breeding is happening at a very high level in large cities. at a
Mhm.
at a different rate because there's more opportunity to sell those dogs.
Mhm.
And so then you have even more indiscriminate breeding happening, even
Mhm.
more disregard for whether or not the dogs that they're breeding are nice or the care or all of the stuff that goes into it. So that's like my very short list of
Yeah.
why I think these things are getting worse and why dog behavior overall is getting worse.
Mhm. Yeah, and we talked about people have kinda spoken on what they want,
Mm.
which is a dog that can live peaceably with, members of their household and society and but also don't need to be out roaming the farm for 8 hours a
Hmm.
day, who don't need 4-hour walks.
Don't need a job.
Yeah, and they want just a nice family dog
Hmm.
that's just part of the family, whatever the
Hmm.
family's doing. And a lot of times, that comes in the form of a doodle. I know that that is not popular.
Oh, Christy.
I know I'm gonna get some backlash, but America's spoken. America likes their doodles. They're everywhere. That's fine. We're not doodle haters here, so don't come at us either way.
I'm not a doodle hater as long as they're ethically bred. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one thing that came up while Heather was dealing with this dog situation is there was a post talking about a hoarding situation here in Arizona where there was, what was it, like 40 doodles or something
Yeah.
like that, that were
Assumed
confiscated.
doodles. We didn't
Yeah,
see assumed doodles.
yeah, assumed doodles from a dog hoarding situation. And I'm still very much involved with people in the rescue community. And so my feed was saturated with a post about those dogs. And then most of those people saying, now there is no reason for you to go to a breeder because this
Mm,
dog is now available through rescue.
I have feelings.
And I told Heather, I have feelings because I do not want my friends or the general public to think that they have to wait for a tragedy in order to get the dog that they want, the breed that they want. I just don't think that is ethical to make people wait for a tragedy. We should be on the front end saying, hey, here are breeders who are doing a lot of the right things. Okay, it's a mixed breed, but are they health testing? Are they raised in clean conditions? Are the parents health tested? Are all these things happening? Are they sold on contract? Is there a backup plan if something happens to that owner so that the dog does not end up in the shelter? That is actually one of the most important things to me. Yes, I want all the health
Mm-hmm.
things, not because it guarantees the dog is healthy, but it stacks the deck in the right favor for you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I don't want to see that dog in the shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's ways that we can prevent that, then let's do that. Let's start getting on the right side of this crisis, the
Mm-hmm.
shelter crisis. And when my best friend decided to get a doodle, we did a lot of research and she did look at rescue doodles and she did not feel comfortable going that route because one, it was as expensive as a breeder. And she said, I don't like not knowing who the parents are and what they went through before I got them.
It's a blind
And I said,
decision.
that is fair. She goes, I want to meet the parents. I want to see how friendly that dog is, how it
Mm-hmm.
interacts with people. I want to see where my puppy was born
Mm-hmm.
because she was going with a breeder here in Arizona. So all of those things were available to her.
Mm-hmm. And
I
she
think
got
that is fair.
and she adores her dog,
She
and
loves
it
her dog
is
so
the
much.
right dog for her.
Yeah, and she keeps in touch with her breeder.
And she has support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when there's been things that come up, her breeder has gone to her home to
Mm-hmm.
help, with, just puppy stuff. But that's what I want for people. I want people to, at the end of the day, say, I have the best dog. Have you met
Mm,
my dog is amazing. Whether that's a dog you would choose or not,
yeah.
and I think what we gloss over when we say now these hoarded dogs are in rescue, so you can go get that. People aren't looking for just a look, just a poodle look. Although they want that, but they're also looking for temperament, and we don't
Hmm.
know where these dogs came from, and we do know that their upbringing was very bad, or at
Hmm.
least several months
Assumed.
or
Yeah.
years were probably very, very poor. Poor nutrition, poor housing, poor
No
grooming,
socialization,
no
no
socialization.
grooming socialization.
Yeah.
Oh my
Those are
God.
those are all really important things.
Hmm.
And I have friends who adopted a, Wheaten Terrier from what we believe was a breeding situation, used as a breeder in an in
Either a puppy mill or
yeah, she was from a
backyard
puppy
bred.
mill, is
Yeah. Yeah.
what things point to, although the rescue would not say that, but there was enough evidence to that. And guess what? It's been, what, 4 or 5
Oh
years
my
now,
gosh, years. Yeah.
and she still is not a friendly dog. She is
Mhm.
still I mean, I still get made fun of because apparently well, the first time I met her, I don't remember saying this, but I was like, "Oh, she's feral.
Yeah, I
She's a
remember the
feral
first
dog.
time you told me about her and you were like, she's feral.
She's
And like
feral."
we jokingly say like Staffords are feral because it's like funny. No, no,
No,
no, no.
no, like,
Legit
she
to
was
the
feral.
description,
Yeah,
she's feral. Yeah.
and not, like, in a mean way, like, she just was
She
not
doesn't know
used
how
to
to
human
live.
contact. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she is comfortable enough now with her owners that she can go on walks and they can be in the room, but she would actually much prefer she loves that they are at work a lot.
Mhm.
She's like, "Fantastic. You guys
Bye.
go." You know, but she's not in it to, like, make friends. Like,
Yeah.
that's as good as she's gonna get, and they have worked so hard and invested so much money, and I don't want that for other people.
Hmm. So for me, what I
Mhm,
realized when we were talking about this initially is that there's a serious ethical question about welfare for me. And that
mhm,
is welfare for the dog and welfare for the people.
mhm,
So, at what point does the need to save something override totally and completely whether or not that is the right decision and the ethical decision and the decision that gives good welfare to the people and the dog? Like, at what point is quote unquote saving something more important that trumps everything else?
right,
Because these dogs who are not in the right home but people just adopt because they are pressured to adopt or they feel like they absolutely must adopt or
mhm,
they feel like they have to save something and then that becomes the primary reason that they choose to do it
mhm,
and they're not matched correctly, that it's not about a
mhm,
match. It's just about savior.
mhm,
That is a problem for me. And I don't
mhm,
give a crap where the dog's coming from. It's a
mhm,
problem. It would be no different than someone going to a quote unquote ethical breeder and being matched with the wrong puppy. That's
right,
a problem for me.
for sure.
I want people to have the right match, and I don't want
Mhm,
them to have to turn themselves inside out to try to make that dog into the right match. And a huge piece of that is genetics.
right, yeah. That is a component, the
It
genetics behind
is.
it. And I wanna be very clear that there are some people who sign up for tough dogs
Yeah.
and love it
Yeah.
and thrive
More power to
and
you.
want that, and I love those people,
Hmm.
but that's not the majority,
And it's not who we're talking about.
and that's not who we're talking about. So when I say, like, I don't want that for my friends, I don't want my that for my friends who don't choose that.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. Like, if you choose
Yes,
that, great. Like,
all
I'm going
day.
to support you in that
There's
too.
plenty of them. Go for it.
But
Yeah.
but I don't want it for unsuspecting victims.
Yeah. The person who I went to see about this dog, they were so passionate about adopting a dog
Mhm.
because they used to volunteer, and now they are facing a really difficult decision. And this decision would be just as heinous no matter where the dog had come from. But
Mhm.
like, it's just so unfortunate, you know? I
Mhm.
am sitting there watching the entire family being ripped apart over what's going on with this dog, and it fucking sucks.
It does suck. Yeah. And I also think it's tough because dogs are different in different environments.
Yeah.
And so I don't think like the shelter tried to pull one over
No,
on
no,
her
no, no,
by
no,
any
not at all.
means.
Absolutely not.
Um, but once the dog got comfortable, some other behavior issues came up. And that's not to say that it's because it's just like you said, it's not because it's a rescue dog.
No?
It's just because of it's who this dog is as an
Yeah.
individual. Wherever they got it. They got it as a puppy from a breeder, like with this temperament, like it would still be the same issues, probably.
At the end of the day, this is not what I want for anyone. I
Yeah.
don't want anyone's family to be ripped apart over something like this. I don't want anyone's child to be bitten. I don't want any of the possibilities that are available to happen. And
Mhm.
so I am left with our society at this point, majority,
Mhm.
is requiring seriously stable and sound temperaments for the way we live now.
Mhm.
And I think that that really, really needs to be a focus for everyone, no
Mhm.
matter how you're getting a dog and no matter how you're advertising a dog.
Mhm. Mhm.
It shouldn't just be, oh, there was a hoarding case, there's 40 doodles available, everybody go and get those doodles. Like, no.
Mhm.
What do we know about those doodles? Have they been evaluated? Do we truly temperamentally evaluated? How long
Mhm.
are they going to be in a foster home to determine if they're even capable of surviving and being well in a
Mhm.
regular home? There's so many unknowns, and it really pissed me off, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think one
Feels
of the
like
things,
blackmail, if or like, what is it?
yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's not quite
Not
blackmail, but
blackmail.
yes. Yeah, it's something along those lines. It's like
Emotional terrorism. I love that term.
gaslighting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In several of the comments said, "Don't come at me with your ethical breeding bullshit."
Mm.
And I here's I was one of those people. I want to be very clear that I came from a spot. I have posts that come up once a year.
Yes.
I
She
don't delete
shares
them
them with me. She shares
because
them
I
with me,
think of
everyone, and it's we chuckle. We chuckle.
and I keep them on there because I want to be reminded where I came from as well. But I said you cannot convince me that with this many dogs up for an adoption that you need to go to a breeder.
Hmm.
However, what I didn't realize was that there were ethical breeders. I didn't know that. Now that I know that there are ethical breeders, I'm going to come at you with that bullshit
Mm.
because here's the thing. If we can have people just going to ethical breeders or rescue, we're not going to need rescue for very long. Like
Well,
if we can get on the right side of people going to only ethical breeders or rehoming dogs or rescue, then we're not making money off of puppies in terrible conditions. We're not going to these unethical breeders. And guess what? That's the dogs in the shelter are not coming from people who have contracts that say, bring that dog back to me.
Mm-hmm.
If they are in the shelter, guess what? Their breeder is willing to go and get them to
Mm-hmm.
find a way to get that dog back to them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, things happen. Things people make, obviously we do the best we can in rescue and on the breeding side to make the best match possible, but things happen. Sometimes
Yep.
it doesn't work out, but they're not the ones contributing. And that's why I won't stop talking about ethical breeders as someone who will only ever have rescue dogs.
And in relation to this episode in particular, I won't stop talking about ethical breeders because if there are no ethical breeders, where does our stable temperament come from?
Mhm.
Are there dogs like Jackson who are stable as fuck? Are there dogs like the pit
Yep,
bulls I've had in my life who are super stable?
yep,
Yes, it happens. It does happen a lot. But
yeah,
if we never, like, that is going to dwindle as time goes on because we are screwing things up worse and worse and worse.
mhm,
So that, like, look around, behavior is getting worse. That's a problem.
mhm.
And so I I don't know how we do right by dogs in the future as we continue to be in larger cities and have less land and have less time and have busier lives than we ever had before and have kids that have, traveling baseball leagues and
Mhm.
football and gymnastics and we're on the PTA, well not me, but
Not me.
and all these different interests and
Yeah.
we're buzzing about our lives. We need our dogs, no matter where they come from, to be able to handle that. And
Yeah.
to me, if they can't handle it, that is a serious welfare issue.
Yeah,
And
for the dog and the
yeah,
people.
and if we start out the gate with a dog that can already handle it, and I'm not a doodle person, right? I'm not.
Mhm.
But there are people out there who are doodle passionate and they're doodle passionate because they really are, among other dogs, among other breeders, working towards dogs who can safely and healthily, is healthily a word? I don't know, but I'm going to
Hopefully.
use it.
Yeah, why not?
Live in our modern society and be okay and be the golden retriever that I had when I was growing up that just like went with
Mhm.
the flow. But you know why she was okay? Because she was out in the backyard with us, running around, and we were
Yeah.
playing in the yard with all the other kids and blah blah blah. And she was fully
Mhm.
enriched. Now we have to look at our modern dogs and be like, okay, well, you get like 5-minute potty breaks 2 times a day, and you need to be fully enriched.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
it's not realistic.
It's not realistic. Yeah.
I think that I just would really like people who are sharing things and saying things, almost trying to guilt someone into a
Mhm.
situation to step back and be like, what is right for the dog and what is right for the people?
Yeah. Yeah, because I also think there's a lot of inexperienced doodle owners, and I don't
Oh,
mean that as
yeah.
like a slam, but there's a lot of people getting doodles as their first dog, and that makes sense. Like it's America's breed. Like America's breed used to be golden
Oh, you about
retriever.
to get hate, man. You just said
I
they're American
know.
breed. Like what?
I mean,
I do not endorse that comment.
okay. What I mean by that is if you go to the park and you look around,
Yeah.
you're gonna see doodles.
You're gonna see a lot of oodle doodles.
If you go to a dog event, there's going to be more doodles than any other
Mm,
breed out there. Just like it used to be, you saw more golden retrievers or
labs.
more labs than the other breeds. That's what I mean. Not like we picked America's breed and it's this mixed breed of doodle. That's not what I'm saying. Because I already feel you guys coming for me.
I'm coming for you.
I know. Wait till they get an AKC registration, then it's going to be fine. I
Why
can
you gotta
say,
start the drama? Why?
I don't know what my point was.
You know what? Okay. So here's a point that I had thought of and forgot about, and now you just reminded me again. I think the crux of it for me is the extremism.
Mhm.
Sit with it for a moment.
Yeah.
It's I am bothered by ethical breeding enthusiasts who act like their shit don't stink and pretend like there aren't people out there doing shady shit and ethically breeding, right? Like
Mhm.
that every single person who's ethically breeding is like perfection on a fucking plate and that there's absolutely nothing wrong going on there. Just as I am deeply offended by people acting like anybody who's running a rescue or doing a rescue or involved in rescue that their shit don't stink. I feel the same,
Yeah.
both sides of the coin. And
Yeah.
so it's that extremism, right? I don't like the extremism of all breeders are bad, all rescues are good, or
Mhm.
all breeders are good, all rescues are bad. I don't
Uh,
like any of it. I don't like
mhm.
any of that extremism. And so I think at my core, that's my real problem with it.
Mhm.
Sit back for a moment and think, is there a world where you could open your eyes like Christy did and take a moment? And if that's you are a rescue person and you want to learn, if you're here in Arizona and you know who I am, come on over. I'll take you to a dog show. I'll let you meet my
We will
dogs. I will educate you until your brain like literally explodes. I will
until
teach
you do
you.
a podcast with her.
Yeah, I will teach you every single thing I know and allow you to at least experience it so that you can make your own opinion.
Mhm.
But open your eyes. And then the flip side of that is if you're out there and you're like an ethical breeder and you need to understand the shelter side of it and the rescue side of it, I'd be happy to show you because I know a couple places I could take you.
I think one thing that we talked about before too with the doodles was that people have spoken like, hey, we like this, we like their
Hmm.
temperaments, we like whatever it is that they like about it, the
Yeah,
look, all of it, the whole package deal. And what we're doing for dogs right now is not working for them
correct.
in our current state. The majority of dogs are not fulfilled or not enriched. And so then when somebody comes along and tries something different, everyone's like, I would say the breeding world and the rescue world both are like F doodles. Like they both
Yes,
equally hate them. So
they
you guys
actually
all found
like
some common ground. Like,
y'all found an overlap and it was to hate somebody else.
like we all hate them equally. But to make they're trying to make a breed work for today.
Mm,
And I know that comes with some ethical consequences along the
mm,
way too. And I understand what rescue is saying when they say like, hey, you shouldn't be mixing mutts,
mm.
all that. I understand why breeders are not happy about it, but at the same time, there's some really well-informed, intelligent people
Yeah.
behind this breed as well who are working towards that AKC registration.
Mm.
So, will it just suddenly be okay if they're AKC registered? Or will everyone still hate the doodle on both
Well,
sides? But see, and it's so weird because I say everyone hates the doodle, but everyone loves the doodle. I, not everyone, but America seems to love the doodle.
I mean, I think that the average American family loves the doodle, right?
Yeah.
But the majority of the people that I know
Yeah.
are ethical breeder people and then rescue people. So like if you're an ethical breeder person, you are like we talked about in one of our last episodes, a crazy passionate person about what you do. And then if you're a rescue person, you're
Mhm.
crazy passionate about what you do. If you're a dog sport person, you're crazy passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
Like we are actually, although it doesn't feel that way because that's what we know, we are actually the anomalies. We are
Yeah.
not the average American family. We're not.
No.
And
No.
so it's very hard to like look around when all you see around you are us crazy people. I mean that in the best way.
Yeah.
Um, to understand why the average American family wants an oodle thing. I
Mhm.
actually have a friend. It's very interesting. I've known her for probably 20 years. Another Rottweiler friend I still haven't met in person, but have known her 20 years. And she is a hardcore Rottweiler rescue supporter and ethical breeding supporter. She
Mhm.
has dogs from both,
Mhm.
and her daughter has a young family. Well, not young anymore. Gosh, the daughters are teenagers, but I remember when they were born, young family. And they probably 3 years ago decided they wanted a family dog.
Mhm.
Now, of course, my friend is Rottweiler through and through, right? She
Mhm.
usually has 2 to 3 Rottweilers at all times.
Mhm.
That was not what the family wanted.
Mhm.
The family wanted a doodle.
Mhm.
And when the family goes away, my friend is who sits because she's grandma. She
Mhm.
sits for the doodle, right?
Right. Right.
And so she'll post pictures of the Rottweilers and the doodle,
Mhm.
and she has to say on her post, don't come at me with the anti-doodle shit.
Mhm.
I helped them find an ethical breeder. She ran into the person at a health clinic doing health testing, and that's how she
Mhm.
met them. And this breeder is doing everything that you would ask of a purebred breeder and call them ethical. So, like, don't come at me. And she tells me that the dog is a wonderful, wonderful family pet. She says
Awesome.
that it fits into their busy family perfectly. And
That's amazing.
so, isn't it an example of like, that's what we're talking about? Her daughter's family are the people who we're talking about.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
those are the people who don't want to turn themselves inside out to become a dog behaviorist so that they can
Mhm.
own whatever schnoodle doodle was found at a hoarding operation that lived in a
Mhm.
cage 3 inches tall for its entire life, or want a backyard bred Doberman that's gonna, whatever. It doesn't matter,
Mhm.
both sides of the coin.
Mhm.
So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. And I just feel so passionately that it would behoove of us in rescue to not see ethical breeders as the enemy, but our
Mm,
partner in helping end dog homelessness
mm.
and dog cruelty.
And dogs who don't know how to live a good life
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're literally unable to,
Mhm. Yeah.
that they're physically and mentally incapable.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn how to navigate that
Mhm.
outside of listening to us, a really
Yeah.
great rescue is DHDR, Desert Harbor Doberman Rescue.
Mhm.
They're walking both lines. They
Yeah.
are doing it and they're doing it well. And
Yeah.
so I think that's an example. There are other purebred examples, rescue examples out there as well,
Mhm.
but that's just the one we know. We've had Christy on the podcast, Christy Cole. But yeah, I just my heart hurts for
Mhm.
every single family and every single person who has been at their wits' end. And I've seen it with clients with puppies. Puppies.
Mhm.
One
Mhm.
client in particular, already in tears over their 16-week-old puppy who
Mhm.
was truly not well.
Mhm.
And what that looks like and they're in
Mhm.
for, and it doesn't matter where that dog came from. I don't care. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, that is the burden of that person now.
Yeah.
And that's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we just want to do better by dogs and better by
Mm,
people.
yep. Yep. I agree.
And I don't think that comes about when you shut either side down completely.
Yep. I agree.
If you've enjoyed this episode, subscribe, rate, and share us wherever you get your podcasts. Also, come on over to Instagram and engage with us at Sometimes There's Side Eye.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.